Hey there, Chuck. I was just wondering if you knew where the materials that we were going to use for the meeting were? I see some of it in the documents here, but this isn't everything. Do you happen to have the rest of them? What the heck do you think you're doing messaging me at this time, huh? Do you think I climbed this high in the corporate ladder so that I could have some nobody bothering me after work hours? What materials are you even talking about? I am talking about the things that we need for the meeting that we're going to be having tomorrow. I thought that our department head assigned you to get those ready for tomorrow, didn't she? Oh, those documents. I think the ones that you're talking about, I know. I just figured that since the meeting isn't going to be until the afternoon, that I could wait until tomorrow morning to get the rest of them done. No, hold on a second. You were going to wait until tomorrow to get all those documents done? Don't you remember that we got the memo from the headquarters saying that they wanted to move the meeting from tomorrow afternoon to 10 in the morning? Wait, what? When was this? I don't remember any memo going out about changing the meeting time. But Chuck, you were the one that forwarded us all of that when it came through. Don't you remember doing that? Are you kidding me? Did I really do that? I don't remember anything of the sort. But you even told us that in the same email that you were going to make the materials ahead of schedule and you were going to get them done so that we can review them before the meeting. Did I really say that? I don't have the slightest memory about any of that. Well, there was even the bit in the memo where we could respond and that we had all seen it and marked them as read as well. But is this really true? I don't remember doing any of this at all. Chuck, you seriously need to go back to the office and finish up all these documents right away? Actually, I don't think I'm gonna do that. You're my subordinate. You should do it all. Hold on a minute. You're really gonna give me all the work just because you were leaving to do them at the last minute? That's right. I'm your boss, and I have a right to distribute work as I see fit. So now it's your problem and not mine. Look, Chuck, I'm really sorry, but I've got to make materials for another meeting, so I have my hands full with that. If you're really making materials for one, then surely you should be able to handle making enough for two. It's hardly even more work for you at that point. Well, I just think that it's gonna take me a lot of time to get everything done in time. You really are a lazy guy, you know that. When I first heard that we were hiring someone with only a high school diploma, I was wondering what the higher-ups would be thinking. But now I see that my first impression of you was right. You have no idea what you're talking about at all, so let me make this very clear to you. You will do what I say when I say it. You know that you can't just treat the employees like this, right? I mean, you're not being fair at all. No, I am being more than fair right now. In fact, I'm giving you special training so that you'll become an even better employee. That is why you're gonna do the work that I give to you, and you're gonna be thankful for the opportunity to prove yourself to me. Anyways, I'm just getting home right now, so make sure you have everything done by tomorrow, got it? Chuck, wait, you can't do this. Hey, George, are you there? I just heard the big news. Is it true that you really got married? I had no idea that you were even dating anyone. Hello, Chuck. Are you wanting to know more about my marriage? Well, I just heard about it from the first time from someone in the office when we were in the break room together. I really didn't know that you were about to get married. Well, I was, and am now, I guess. Is there anything else that you'd like to know? Is it true that when you got married, you also bought a house at the same time? Actually, we haven't bought anything yet, but we are already talking about buying a home for the two of us, yes. Now that my wife and I are married, we have a lot of big decisions to make about our future. I don't believe it. You mean to tell me that some loser who can only have a high school diploma can afford to get married and is thinking about buying a house? You really have got some nerve, you know that? I mean, just who do you think you are? You think you're better than me or something? Here we go again. I just mean that if you're married, then your wife must be a bit of a weirdo too. If this lady thinks it's a good idea to marry someone in your position, then you're either lying to her, or there's something wrong with her too. Maybe you're just with her because she's all messed up and does crazy stuff in the bedroom. Is that why you two are married? Chuck, I don't care at all what you have to say to me. You can insult me and put me down all you want. But I draw the line at you saying anything that vulgar about my wife, do you understand me? Excuse me? Just who do you think you're talking to like that? You seriously have got some nerve. I just want to make something clear with you, Chuck. The reason that I wasn't able to go to college after I finished high school was because my dad died. My family didn't have the money to send me to college after that. I had to work to help take care of the rest of my family. So I really appreciate it if you would stop talking to me as if you know my life or what I've gone through before I got here, okay? Because not only is it rude, but it's also against the rules of how you can treat people in the office. As a department supervisor, you need to choose your words more carefully, and think about what the boss should and shouldn't be saying in the office. Just who in the world do you think you are, telling me how I can and can't talk in the office, huh? Do you think you're the boss around here? Who died and made you the compliance officer for the whole office? Well, I don't think that anyone died, but you are right that I have been selected as this year's compliance officer. Wait, are you serious? You're really the CEO for the office this year? That's right. Anyways, I got a meeting with our department heads to attend to and some clients, so I gotta leave now. Hold on just one second. Are you telling me that you're working directly with the department heads? But you can't just skip over me and work with her. What the heck is going on here? How is someone who doesn't even have a college degree like you doing this, huh? I want to be there too. You tell me where you all are right now. If you want to go look at the office schedule board, all this should already be written there in a very clear way to understand, manager. I'll be going straight home after this, however, so I really do have to get going right now. Hey, we're not through here! Don't you run away from me, I still have things I gotta ask you!
Hey there, George. I just wanted to let you know that I think you did a really great job today. It seems to me like you've been making some real great improvements ever since you started working there.
Thank you so much. It really means a lot to me that you're saying that. And I certainly didn't expect to be treated to Lucy's cooking after we finished work.
Well, she was really hoping to get to do that with you, actually. I told her that we were going to be working together, and then you were going home after a meeting. But when I told her, she told me to invite you over for dinner instead. She was so excited that she told me that she was going to go out right away and buy something to cook for us to dinner.
Well, thank you so much for your kindness. It really does mean so much to me.
Well, I'm not the one that you should be saying thanks to, you know?
You're right. Please tell Lucy how grateful I am for her thinking about me like that. Tell her the dinner was delicious.
Of course, I'll be sure to do that. And I'm sorry to be asking you to work a little tomorrow even though it's Saturday.
You mean about seeing you off at the train station? I can do that, no problem. You wanted me to pick you up and take you over at about 8 in the morning, right?
Yeah, that would be perfect. Thank you so much for that.
Hey, George, do you really live in a place like this? I really can't believe it. I was really surprised when you told me the company made you the compliance officer. I thought it meant that you were in there with some of the bigwigs here. And you have a place like this, too? I have to say that I'm actually just a bit impressed by this. I mean, I never would have guessed you to have a place like this, but it doesn't change the fact that you still don't even have a degree from a university. You're still a no one. You really must think that just because you have this job that you can try and get a leg up on everyone, huh? Well, just know that I'll never let you forget who you really are. Hey there, George, I just wanted to let you know that I'm having a really great barbecue. I was gonna invite you to it as well, but I heard that you were going to be out of town doing something. Hello there, Chuck. Sorry, I'm not quite sure what you're talking about, actually. What is this about? Oh, I didn't tell ya. I was gonna be having a little barbecue party, and I was thinking of inviting you, but I guess you weren't here to be able to enjoy it. Well, yeah, I did have something to do this morning, but it's not like I'm out of town or anything like that. I'm actually already home right now. Oh man, this meat is good and you're not gonna get to eat any of it. Okay. You enjoy that, I guess, Chuck. Hey George, you still there? I got something to tell you about right now, so answer me as soon as you get this message, okay? Hello again, Chuck? Yeah, I normally don't hear anything from you this often when it's the weekend, so what is it this time? Oh, I just wanted to let you know that I was having a barbecue at your house and there was a fire. Wait, what? A fire? You had a fire at your barbecue party? Is everyone okay? Well, I'm actually going home, but I was having the barbecue party at your house, so anyways, good luck putting that fire out. I'm gonna come back once the fire is put out to get all my supplies that I brought over, but you might want to deal with the fire going on in your lawn, bro. Hold on just 1 second, Chuck. Wait, you're telling me that you don't actually live in a house? Like, you live in an apartment? Yeah, I have an apartment room on the 3rd floor of my building, actually. So I'm not really sure what you mean when you say that you were having a barbecue at my house, much less my lawn. Hold on a second, what do you mean? Are you serious about all this? I am. Did you even bother calling the fire department about any of this? No, I was gonna leave it all to you, actually. Well, you better call them right now, because wherever you are, that isn't my house. No, Cecile, well, what an honor it is getting a message straight from you. It isn't every day that I hear from you. Please tell me what I can do for you. To what do I owe the honor?
I was just wanting to talk to you about this business with you, trying to start a fire at the house of one of our employees?
Oh, that, right, of course. Well, the one thing I was trying to do was pull a prank on George, and I think it went kind of a little wrong. He told me that I could have a barbecue at his house if I wanted to, but then he gave me the wrong address, so anyway, I ended up going to the wrong house, and I guess you know the rest from there.
Right, well, that so-called wrong house was actually my house.
No, wait, I'm sorry, what? That was your house?
That's right, it was my house, and I wouldn't have minded as much if there was just a little bit of damage. But the thing is that the fire spread to my prize-winning rose garden and completely destroyed it.
So, it really was your house then? You really mean that?
That's right. It was my house. And I just want you to know that I'm going over the damage that you've caused. Not only to the roses, but to my garden in general, as well as a tree that was designated as historic by the city. So just know that I am going to be charging you for all of that.
You're really gonna make me pay for all that? Are you serious? How could you do this to me? You never told me the house that you were sending me to was Cecile's. I didn't send you anything, although I did hear from one of Cecile's neighbors that they weren't able to put out the fire in time, that they did remember talking to you. They told me that you told them that you had permission from Cecile to do what you were doing. You're honestly lucky that your fire didn't end up burning the whole house down, you know that? I mean, did you really do all that just because you thought that it was my house? But, I mean, you told me that, you just got married and had gotten a new house, so I thought that I would go and check out what the new house was that you were living in. Yeah, and that's why I was saying that I was really surprised about your house. I had no idea how a little nobody like you could afford such an amazing place with a perfect yard like that! I see. So basically you're saying that you thought that Cecile's house was actually mine? But, I mean, I saw you go up to this house after you finished up with work the other day. So how is it that you don't live there? Are you talking about a couple of days ago, when I went home from work that day? That's right! I just happened to see your car while I was out, and so I got into mine, and I thought that I would follow you home so I could make fun of where you lived. And then when you arrived, there was some pretty lady that came outside to greet you, so I was sure that you must have been, where you were living with your wife. Well, I don't know what else to say, but that's not my house, and that is not where I live with my wife. But how can that be? What did I even see then? You do remember that I told you that I was talking with my wife about where we were gonna live, right? And I told you that we were still talking about where our house was gonna be. Did you really say that to me? I don't remember that at all. Are you sure that's what you told me about where you and your wife would be living? That's right. I'm sure that I told you that my wife and I hadn't decided on where we were gonna live yet. I'm sure that if you scroll up throughout our other conversations that you will say that I told you just that much as well. But then, I don't understand. Why were you going to Cecile's house then? Well, that would be because after I finished work the other day, I was invited there by Cecile, if you must know. And the other person who came out to greet me was actually Cecile's daughter, my wife. You're kidding me! That's right, so basically you thought that my mother-in-law's house was my house because my wife is still living there while we settled on a good place to move to. But then, what does that mean for me? What's gonna happen now? That sounds like something that's gonna be settled between you and Cecile. In the end, Chuck was fired. Not only was his out-of-work conduct considered unacceptable, but HR acted on the many reports of his non-compliance with office rules that I made. I imagine that he was probably charged with some kind of mix of breaking and entering and arson, but I never really asked Cecile what she did after Chuck was fired. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to see more content like this.
Oh, Yasmin, do you still exist? It's been a minute since we last spoke.
Am I really hearing from you right now, Sasha?
I think the last time we saw each other was our high school reunion. That was about 5 years ago, right?
That sounds about right to me. Since you're contacting me, might I ask what you want?
Excuse me, I feel like you're being a little bit blunt with me, strangely enough.
Oh, is that so? Were you not originally aware of that?
What are you talking about, Yasmin?
When we were in the same year group, everyone was super cautious with you. Did you not realize that?
What do you mean? Why would you be cautious of me?
Perhaps it's because you've had affairs with 2 of our classmates' husbands so far. And on top of that, you went after them for money. So everyone is accusing you of being a gold-digging husband stealer.
Oh, really now? That's just crazy talk. It just so happened to be that he was a rich guy, and that he was married. The person I fell in love with just happened to be a highly capable human being. Well, it just might be that I'm destined to be easily loved by these types of men, but it might also be a sin.
You don't have any type of remorse over this.
But I wonder, what's so wrong about people who love each other and want to be together? Not much, Yasmin.
You're not supposed to lay hands on a married man. You know that, right?
I can't help that I love them. You're saying that it's not good to fall in love with a man who is taken, but sometimes you can't help the situation.
Anyways, enough about that. There's a lot of wariness amongst our classmates about you. You should realize that, surely.
I should? That's a bit extreme, don't you think? It seems that you've put yourself away on the highest shelf out of reach, don't you think?
Excuse me? What do you mean by that?
You don't think I can't reach you and turn things upside down, do you? I'm contacting you today to give up your husband so I can take him, please and thank you.
Uh-huh. What the heck did you just say to me?
Oh, Yasmin, don't say or question anything right now. You don't think that if I didn't dig my hands in the sand looking for your husband that I wouldn't find you, did you? But I did, and it looks like there's not much any of us can do right now, because Dylan and I have fallen in love with each other.
Sasha, are you messing with me? What did you do with the husband that you stole from our classmate a year ago?
I broke up since I ended up meeting a better man, and that was Dylan.
How can you break up with men so easily after ruining their marriages to others? What's even worse is that you're creating a third unfaithful act. You're crazy.
But I'm pretty sure this time that I've fallen in love with Dylan though. We are seriously in love with each other, so this doesn't count as cheating.
Sasha, if you say so.
It can't be helped if I had to pay alimony even though we're not having an affair. You know about my feelings for him right now. Fortunately, Dylan earns about $500 a year.
How do you know that?
I'm sure that he'll pay the alimony just so he can be with me. So I want you to hurry up and divorce him so Dylan and I can be together already. Pretty please, Yasmin?
Oh, right. So that's what you really want then.
Why, of course. Don't get me wrong, okay? I just didn't happen to fall in love with a man who earns $500,000 a year. I'm just in it for the money or anything else.
I see what you mean, Sasha. Just to be clear, how long have you been in a relationship with Dylan?
We got together about 4 months ago.
I see. Well, I suppose you don't have to pay the alimony if that's the case.
I don't have to pay anything?
I have no reason to take any money from you, Sasha.
Is it because you can clearly see that we have really, truly fallen in love with each other? You believe that our love is real, right?
No, I just think that there's no reason for me to take any money from you.
Whoa, really? This is fantastic. Thank you so much, Yasmin. Dylan and I are going to be so happy together. You'll see.
Jade, I need to ask you a question. When do you plan on moving out of this apartment building?
What? Oh, hey, Yasmin. What are you talking about? We don't have the money to move somewhere else. Have you just come to message me and laugh about how poor we are? Oh, just because we're cousins, it doesn't mean that you can easily say those sort of things when we interact.
Jade, that's not it at all. I'm having some trouble at the moment, and I just thought you should know.
Oh, really now? It's been a while since you were in the last spot of bother. You married Dylan before you knew what he was really like, so it can't be helped now if you didn't know what you were getting into by being together. So, would you please stop coming to me with all of your issues?
It seems like Dylan has a new girlfriend.
A new girlfriend? What?
Just before, I got a message from a woman who thinks that Dylan is still my husband. And this woman revealed to me that she's a perfect match for Dylan.
Oh my god, really? This must be some kind of practical joke, right?
It's up to you if you believe what I'm saying or not. I'll send you a screenshot of the conversation I had with her. You can form your opinions about it, and please get back to me about it. I need some sort of advice, Jade.
What the heck is this madness? What an absolutely crazy man. Even though he lied about his annual income and he's reduced me into being in poverty. I'm in debt because of the alimony and I'm working hard while saving money for moving expenses and now he's cheating again?
I just find it funny that the reason why you're in this situation is because of the gold digging. So both of you have the same misunderstanding.
Shut up, Yasmin.
Well, that's why. If I'm being honest, I'm really busy and I don't want to buy any more into this, so I'm sorry. Dylan's current wife should be the one to take over the battle with Sasha.
Yasmin, we need to talk. What are you planning on doing about this? You promised me this would have a different outcome. Didn't you see that I didn't have to pay any alimony? What's this thing that you sent me in the mail? An alimony request letter you wrote saying that I do need to pay alimony? You're such a big fat liar. Aren't you rotten to the core?
That's a bit of a crazy thing to say? I'm not lying to you, Sasha.
I don't understand. Why you're wanting me to pay alimony then? If you want it, Dylan has the money, so he should be able to pay for it without too much difficulty. Isn't it wrong to break a promise to someone? I'm never going to pay you the alimony.
Okay, you really need to chill out, Sasha. Also, how about you take a closer look at who actually sent you the letter?
What do you mean? Is it not from you?
Does it look like my name's on the letter, Sasha?
Okay, I'll take a look. Wait. Hold up. Jade Fellows? What? Who's this person?
Jade's my cousin. She's Dylan's current wife.
Wait, current wife? What? What the heck is going on here? But isn't Dylan's current wife you, Yasmin?
If we're talking about 6 months ago, then yeah, sure.
6 months ago? So you're still together, right?
No, Sasha. Dylan and I got a divorce about 6 months ago.
I don't understand. Why?
Well, the main reason why we got a divorce was because he was having an affair with my cousin, Jade.
But how can that be?
You and Dylan have been in a relationship for about 4 months, right? There's no way that I would claim any alimony from you if I broke up with Dylan beforehand, you see?
No, wait just a minute. Yasmin, what the heck's going on here? You and Dylan are still living in the same apartment building. I saw you both on separate occasions. But I've seen you both recently. But now, your current cousin Jade is his current wife? What the heck is with this situation?
Well, there are many things wrong with this situation, Sasha. Originally, Dylan and I, and Jade, and her husband were all living in the same apartment building. So, both Jade and I are cousins, and we were both in relationships with other men. The problem came up about 6 months ago that her and Dylan were having an affair, and then her husband divorced. It seemed like Jade got married about 100 days after she was allowed to remarry someone else.
Did this really happen?
Yes, but there's obviously still problems. Like, shouldn't Dylan and Jade be paying me alimony to me and my ex-husband?
Well, yeah, that's true, but surely Dylan would have paid the alimony off really quickly.
Nope, they both borrowed the money to pay for it.
What do you mean?
That's why they can't move out of their apartment, because the money for that is all gone. Well, Jade is at the mercy of her ex-husband as the rental contract for their current apartment is about to expire.
Hold up a second, why did Dylan borrow money? He said that he earns about $500,000 a year. So he should be able to pay the alimony at a push of the button. And have heaps left over, right?
Sasha, Dylan is unemployed.
What are you talking about? Doesn't he earn big bucks?
The company that he worked for filed for bankruptcy over a year ago. Haven't you heard that he's been a freeloader ever since?
He's leeching off his partners?
I'm the one who earns about $500,000 a year.
No way! You're the one earning all that money? That's gotta be a complete and utter lie.
I took over my grandfather's company about 5 years ago. Besides that, I personally do a lot of things to earn more cash, such as stock investment.
So with that, you're making about $500,000 every year?
Yes, that's correct.
That's insane! How can this be? So Dylan, he's rich but also unemployed, right?
Nope, he's drowning in debt. Was that not obvious to you?
He got debt problems?
That's why it doesn't make sense for me to plunder off large amounts of money from him if he's just a nobody to me now.
This is so hard to believe. I thought that I could live in the luxurious apartment building with him.
There's no way that Dylan can renew his apartment contract if he's not earning any money. It's just impossible, really.
When it comes to the alimony, he won't even want to be with me. What should I do? I've been disowned by my parents, so I can't go to them for help.
I would actually do something about it yourself and get some muscle behind you. It's just a natural thing to do when these sorts of things develop.
But I've never had to work before.
Well, it looks like you'll have to get into the real world and start working.
How am I supposed to find anyone that will give me a job?
For the time being, you'll need to go to a recruitment agency.
Ew, this completely sucks. I don't understand why this had to happen to me.
What is it that you don't understand now, Sasha?
Didn't you realize that I need to be lent some money?
I never said that I would lend you any money, Sasha.
You totally said that you would. Even though you said it in a roundabout sort of way, I still guess that you could do that for me. You're my friend, Yasmin.
You know that we're far from friends, right?
What do you mean? We went to high school together.
When we were in high school, we hung out with other friends a few times. But at the class reunion, you were pestering me so much about everything, including getting my phone number, and so I gave it to you so you would leave me alone. Otherwise, there was no interaction between us after that. How can I be a friend if you see me at a lower level than you?
Okay, well, I want us to be friends from now on, Yasmin.
Yeah, no, I don't need you as a friend, Sasha. It's rather annoying even just knowing someone like you.
What? How could you say such a lie?
Don't bother contacting me again. I don't want to hear from you. A few days later, Sasha and Jade got into a fight in front of the apartment and got in trouble with the police. Their clothes were torn and the parts of the body that shouldn't be shown in public were exposed. At the time of the argument, they were shouting things like, "I can't pay alimony when I don't have money," and "You're cheating with someone else's husband." With Dylan being in debt and unemployed, neither woman wanted to even touch him, so it seems like he's the only one that completely lost the battle. Later on, Dylan and Jade got a divorce and both moved out. Dylan is said to have paid the alimony, although it was only a small amount initially. Also, Sasha managed to find some money from somewhere to pay the alimony in a lump sum. The details after all the drama are unknown. Rumor has it that she sunk into a bubble bath, never to be heard of again.